Hello, and welcome back to the Mogwin Dynasty, which is a very nice sky. Last time, I beat Malenia. Took less time total than I expected, and then I came here. Spent a really long time messing around with the fact that these guys take more damage on their first hit than every other hit. Still don't get that personally. Like, I'm pretty sure it's just them, because I checked the dogs, I checked in another place, so it's not just the weapon, and I don't understand why that happens, but yeah, it is what it is. Ugh, I walked too close. Yeah, this is what it is, and today I'm going to explore. My goal will be going this way until I get to the bonfire before the boss, and then I'll explore this section. Oops. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be a fairly relaxed bit of exploration. There's a few dangerous enemies, but it's reasonably safe. I need to find a better way to fight these guys. Because I think it's guaranteed that if I kill them with a melee swing that I get poison, or that they stack bleed on me. Unless I backstab them, I guess. I guess you kind of have to kill them with backstabs. Oh, that was funny. Oh, that guy didn't die, that's why he didn't explode. Okay. Oh, that guy's gonna chase me and explode? No. I don't know. Yeah. It's just gonna be a lot of exploration today. I will probably not attempt the boss, because I think everything else here will take a while. I'm just gonna ignore these guys. There's no point in killing them. You just have to be careful enough. Oops. Yeah, there's nothing up here. I don't think I can ride a horse in this section, right? Yeah. I don't think there's any reason to climb this. Look at that weird green spot. I wonder why that's there. Whether it's just random color that was put in, or what. Whatever. Keep moving. Yeah, it's a run. Oh. My favorite topic of curiosity in the last week, or last few days even, has been the, like, rhyming slang. Which is, what, it's like, Cockney rhyming slang is at least one way it's referred to. And it's some of the weirdest, because it's not always, my assumption would have been that it was almost always rude, but it's not. It's not, which, I mean, it could be not rude because intentionally misdirecting so that people can't complain about it as much and whatever, but it's still such a weird, because apples and pears being stairs, it's such a weird, like, everything. Like, you can find, the easiest thing to find is on Wikipedia. I assume most of it is accurate, but there's like a lists of stuff that exist. There's some that are clearly rude. Oh, that's just a path? What's the point of that? I guess to avoid... Oh no, it's not a path. It's up here. Like, there's some that are clearly rude, but then there's stuff like apples and pears, where it's like the whole premise of rhyming slang is that it's replacing words with other words that rhyme. So stairs rhymes with pears. So stairs becomes pears, and then for some reason it becomes like the sentence apples and pears, and then supposedly it can then just be referred to as apples to refer to stairs, which is, I mean, the process actually makes complete sense to me, because who doesn't love going for, like, a normal example from me, like, D&D is kind of similar to the French word for turkey, dinde, and then with the French word for turkey, well, dinde then goes back to turkey. So you go D&D. I can't see anything. So you go from D&D to dinde back to turkey. And boom. There is an example. Except it's not the same at all, because D&D doesn't actually rhyme with dinde. And it's not in the same language, which makes it more awkward. But basically the process, when it isn't just trying to disguise a rude word, the process makes sense to me. Because it's just sort of meaningless occupying yourself with something that you find kind of entertaining. Okay. The guy spawns somewhere. I think multiple of those blood nobles spawn in this area. I think one spawns back here when I walk further down. I'm not a fan of these. That's really annoying, but I need to kill them. Okay, I need them to group up. I'm going to use the dot that burns, which I think there was a great question. I really do wonder how it applies to... I might die here. I really do wonder how Malenia would react to the fire. And I regret not being able to test that, because it didn't even cross my mind initially. This is kind of nice. Oops, I'm out of FP. Oh, I actually should definitely, before I did any of that, I should have equipped the FP restore on enemy kill. What's this one? Yes. Yeah, I think if I'd been using that the whole time, I would not have used up my FP. Okay, they're all dead. Yeah. I'm still thinking about rhyming slang, because it's such a... I don't remember any of the specific rude ones, other than it's like one example on Wikipedia, because I couldn't find a website that didn't have 4 million ads everywhere. But one example was arse becoming heiress. You would assume, okay, it's kind of similar, but it was multiple levels, because, oh, it's like, oh, I can't remember. I should search it, but arse became bottle. Bottle is supposedly Aristotle. Aristotle then becomes heiress. So it's like 2 levels deep for some reason. Whether it's ever actually used is, in my mind, doubtful. But it's possible. But just as an idea, even if it isn't actually used by real human beings, it's still a fun idea to have like multiple levels deep. Oh, which is fun. I think I get jumped here. Or do I have to interact with this? I have to interact with it. Okay. I I think over there is the thingamabob. Somber smithing stone. Wait, I have it on my phone, I think. I'm gonna sit here for just a second. Oh, and so Eris, so Ars, which is rhymed with bottle and glass. Probably the less friendly version for backside. Rhymes with glass. Bottle and glass becomes bottle. Bottle becomes Aristotle. Aristotle becomes Eris. Which is a funny premise. Oh, he can hop.
Heedless of my warning, though you have been raised to a knight of the dynasty, I am pained to the very depths of my being. I'll ensure you regret this.
Oops.
My lambkin. Enjoy your miserable death.
Got him.
Must I be
That went pretty well.
by this low
Rune arc and useless. The other thing that I was... Oh, but then there's Skint, which is penniless, becomes boracic lint, which is a type of medical dressing made from surgical lint that is soaked in a hot saturated solution of boracic acid and glycerin. And then that becomes brassic, which is weird. I think that's a weird example. But the other one... 'cause I just have stuff that I search that if I find it interesting, I can just leave a tab open on my phone.
Oh, luminary Moog, please grant the strength you promised. I have given everything. Please, my lord. Please. Bless the Mogwin dynasty with love.
Yeah, I'll search whatever. And one of the things I was reminded of was like the golden mole, or golden moles, which are a species of animals that aren't actually moles. They just are, they're an example of convergent evolution. What's all the green? Is it moss? But yeah, like they're convergent evolution. They look like moles. Kinda. But they aren't moles. It's very funny to me. Well, that does a lot of damage. This is very effective, actually. I wasn't actually expecting it to be this effective. I didn't expect them to just sort of walk into it and then not leave. Because, like, dragons and stuff do actually dodge this, seemingly. Though they might not actually be dodging it, it could just be like a coincidence. Ooh, that should have hit me. I mean, I think that's the first time I've actually fought these, and it was really easy. Because this is just a very effective weapon against a bunch of enemies. I'm very happy with it. I think it suffers single target a little, but... there's that, and... this goes up to the boss, and I'm really not in the mood for the boss right away. So I'm gonna leave. And then go to the other Grace after I upgrade the Death Poker. Once the Death Poker is upgraded, then I'm gonna go back and explore the other section. Oh. That's pretty good. Oops. Let me remove my marker, please. No. No. Let me remove the marker, please. If I go here. Oh, if I just move around here, it'll be fine. Because if I travel, I go to the location of the mark. If you go to the location of the mark, it will go away. Oh, that's even better. Good, that's gone. Perfect. So now I need to go back here. This other section is, from my memory, not as straightforward. Especially... Oh, I'm gonna do this before I forget. Especially the first, area with the trees, which you can avoid, but I need to do this before I forget. I think I would rather have the magic attack. Yeah, my first playthrough, maybe even my second playthrough. Second attempted playthrough. First playthrough didn't finish. I never found the, like, Lord of Blood mixed physic. So the boss felt impossible. Because that second, after the second phase where he just does something that does like 40% of your HP every couple seconds, and you can't dodge it, is pretty rough. I can't remember how specifically that needs to be used. Also, it's kind of interesting that if you just walk around the corner, these guys don't aggro nearly as much, huh? Okay, that guy didn't get backstabbed. I mean, they still summon giant skeletons, I think, but if you just go around the edge, it's not that dangerous, huh? Instead of running straight down the middle. I kind of want to use a rune arc, but I'll probably die. Though, I mean, maybe not. I think this guy also... I think all of these red guys summon skeletons. But they disappear when you kill their summoners. That was very effective. I'm happy with that. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the killer of repeat playthroughs. You don't get that same having no idea what's happening. Like, oh, if you run into this forest, you get beat up by a bunch of giant skeletons. You don't get that same scenario on additional playthroughs. It's kind of a shame. It's unavoidable. But, you know, you kind of... Oh, there he is. Okay. You kind of have to enjoy. Ooh, that was rough. Ooh, yeah. Lasers. You have to enjoy the limited experience of getting murdered by giant skeletons on your first playthrough. Because imagine that, but with 2 or 3 more skeletons blasting lasers at you. I don't know if it's survivable. Though, I mean, if you take it carefully from the beginning and you're not just running through, you'd be like, oh, there's an item in the middle of a forest. Something's gonna happen. But that's beside the point. I'm gonna swap weapons for a minute until I have more FP from killing stuff, or until there's more enemies that I want to use that weapon on. Yeah. I'm not really thinking about the golden mole, but it's just fun. Like convergent evolution where animals that aren't related develop the same traits. Like, I believe I believe pangolins would be an example of convergent evolution, where they developed a lot of the traits of anteaters despite the fact that they're more closely related to like canines and stuff. I'm not sure about canines, but they're more closely related to something that you would assume they would be less related to than they are to anteaters. See, now that is where I'm going to use this. Just aggro all these guys. Hope they don't spin and kill me. Hello. Hello. What? Spin and cartwheel? I think cartwheeling is spinning. Okay. I guess them shooting blood out of them is more dangerous than them cartwheeling. They're not really grouping up. There's the cartwheel. One of them just got hit and it shifted them further into the flame. That's weird. Anyway. That's enough of them. Yeah, it's having a good time exploring the Bloodlands. Though, I'm dead. Yep. Because if you get too greedy and they roll into you, you die. But something about talking about blood made me think about a weird query I had surrounding it's medical related, sort of. I'm bad with medical stuff. It's just, it grosses me out. But my mother is a doctor. So I was curious and I asked about general anesthetic that makes you unconscious, but despite being unconscious, I guess because of the chemical method in which it induces unconsciousness, it doesn't fulfill the role of sleep. Because I'm like, oh, it's just something I was curious about. Like, if you suffered from such terrible insomnia that you couldn't sleep for weeks on end, could you use anesthesia to get rest? And the answer was no, because I guess chemically it doesn't behave like sleep. What was the purpose of that? Okay, that was a weird everything. Yeah. I think it's an interesting fact that, I mean, it's not a surprising fact necessarily, but I think it's interesting that it doesn't fulfill the same role. I think general anesthetic is the one that's putting you to sleep, like, terminology-wise. Yeah, I think I've had that once when I had my wisdom teeth removed. It's not that weird for me. I think people respond differently, but for me it was basically, I'm awake, I'm asleep, I'm awake again. And when I was awake, it didn't meaningfully impair to my recognition, it didn't impair my, oop, that was already on, wow. My ability to think. Like, I'm like, okay, if I had to make decisions, I still think that I could make them. It would just be, I could make sound decisions. Obviously, it's better to not do that because you don't know how much it's influencing you. But, like, I could make it felt like I could make correct decisions. Just slower. Like, the obvious correct decision of don't drive. I wouldn't be like, oh, I could drive. I would be like, if I had the reaction speed such that if I could still react like a human, I think I could follow the rules of the road, but I wouldn't be able to do it in a driving appropriate manner, which was what stuck out to me the most, that like the rules of the road and such were still very clear. There was no like, oh, I can't remember those sorts of like basic common premise like concepts. I guess that guy was hiding. Like, it's sort of supposedly when after the whole wisdom teeth removal, for me, I just became really quiet apparently. I didn't talk about a bunch of different stuff. I didn't become chatty. I just was quieter. Which I'm already, generally speaking, not that talkative of a person. But it's kind of interesting. It's like there's a lot of stuff that exists, like the impacts of alcohol. Like, I don't know, alcohol's weird to me. I guess it's just because, I would say it's, because of how my parents raised me, where they drink wine, beer, now and then. But it was always just, it's just a drink, as opposed to it's a way to get drunk. And I think my siblings did not have that same, I don't know, conclusion, given some minor stories that they've told. But it's kind of interesting. Like, the fact that, I mean, having drank alcohol, it has never made sense to me why some people become, I don't know, more aggressive, more stupid when they drink. Because I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's like you have to get to the point where you physically can't remember anything afterwards to make really bad decisions, but oops. At least for me, at no point would I be like, yep, it's a good idea to drive after drinking any sizable amount. Like, it's just it's something that's like, oh yeah, you experience to a point and you're like, okay, I don't understand how anyone could make that decision. But then you see people who make bad decisions, like speeding needlessly even when they aren't drunk, and you're like, okay, no, I can see exactly why some people do drive drunk. It's because they don't make good decisions to begin with. And this isn't some judgmental thing. It's mostly stemming from, I do understand why young adult males have higher insurance premiums for cars and stuff. Because one workplace I was at, we had to learn from other people that were our age, because that's sort of how it was set up. And both young adult males, this doesn't, oh, it's just a corpse, okay. Both of them were prone to somewhat unsafe driving. And the only other people, there was one woman, they drove safely. It's just kind of an interesting, it's not a big sample size, but it's sort of anecdotally, it made sense. Because that's the nature of risk. Now, obviously, that I don't know how that applies necessarily. Whether it's 18, 19, 20, and then it... Because my understanding is it isn't always bad. Like, men don't always have higher premiums, maybe? I don't know. I don't have a car. I don't have any interest in owning a car because, if possible, it is kind of nice. Oh, this is a classic rune farm. It's actually two classic rune farms. One right here, one over that way. Like, you can shoot the bird with a bow, it falls off a cliff, you get 10,000 runes. Or you can get the weapon from the final boss, use its Ash of War like 2 or 3 times, and then return, and then just spam that. Pretty fun. Or when you're done the game and you just want to collect somber stones, or smithing stones. Wonder why this rock exists. But yeah, that section down there is, I would say, the dangerous section. There's a bunch of birds, there's a couple, there's at least one invader, maybe multiple. That looks like there should be an item there, but there isn't. Weird. Yeah. It's just fun to think about different whatevers, like... Yeah, the cars are neat sometimes, but they're not always necessary. Now, there are a ton of, you know, workplaces, jobs and such that do seemingly require vehicles, personal vehicles, a lot of the time. I thought this section had a connection down here. I guess not. This is a weird grace, though. Unless I'm missing a path. Palace Approach Ledge Road. Because I'm pretty sure this connects to somewhere. Like, shouldn't this connect somewhere? Or can you drop down here from another path, maybe? Okay, this is to the south? No. There's no way there's a path there. Yeah. But that looks like there's a path that you can drop down, maybe. Doesn't look like it on the map, though. That looks like a giant foot. With, like, very splayed toes. I guess I'll go here again. And explore that section. Did I reset the grace? I did. So everything would respawn anyway. But it's neat. I'm here. I can't ride a horse until I'm down below. But yeah. Things with regards to insurance and all that is weird. Riding a bike is not a good way to do shopping. Riding the bus is not ideal for shopping. Neither is ideal for traveling outside of a city. I mean, neither is ideal for traveling inside a city if you have mediocre public transit, but... Or if you have bad public transit. But it's still an interesting mix. There's the invasion. Oh, nope. Like, the thing with that is, it's basically you can't shop in as much bulk. You'll just instead of being able to shop every couple weeks, you'd have to shop regularly. He staggered me before I could get the second hit. Ooh, he jumped through that. Interesting. Really does a good job of staggering me out of the follow-up, huh? There. Give me an item? Nothing. Wait, how many? 4. I need either 1 or 2 more total, and then I think that's the maximum upgrade. I'm gonna try and fight the bird. If there's only one bird this way. If there's 2 birds, it will go poorly. Last time I was talking about the Denver Eagle repository. And I didn't say anything other than the fact that it exists, because I don't know much about it. But, I mean, these creepy crows kind of make me think about it. Oh yeah. As I started using the Ash of War, I remembered that just because they're on the ground, I'm dead. Just because they're on the ground doesn't mean they don't keep attacking. I got faked out. There's the bird falling off a cliff. I should have remembered that they continue attacking. I think the white mask doesn't show up again. I really hope it doesn't. Because I just want to kill that bird, fight the other birds, and then move along. Yeah. There being a repository for bald eagle bodies is neat. And the fact, so what was more interesting is how, like, the bald eagle wasn't, lovely. Bald eagles weren't extinct, or even, like, super endangered, but they were relatively endangered. Like, they weren't... Okay, somehow neither of those swings did anything. Like, they weren't, as common as carrier pigeons used to be before they got wiped out. It was oh no, it was passenger pigeons, I think. Passenger pigeons were like super common in North America. And then they got killed. I think eaten, because like why waste the meat if you're murdering millions of birds? But yeah, I think it was passenger pigeons that got absolutely wiped out. Because I believe they had... Okay. They just attack forever, so no... And they move. They have a huge amount of movement. And he dies again, maybe? Not quite. Yeah, I guess I need to just not do anything when they're attacking there and just run away. Okay. I think it was like passenger pigeons had... like... billions of birds? And they made giant... shotguns that they mounted to the backs of boats to kill huge numbers of them each time they shot it, I believe. It could have been a different bird that was shot with those, though. But it's just there were so many of them that had giant flocks. I'm gonna have to kill the invader again. Why the invader seems to respawn every time, I don't understand. I do, but... it's just a waste of time if it spawns again. I'm gonna wait a second, because if it kicks me off my horse, that means it spawns again. And if it doesn't, then I'm good. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There. I'm searching passenger pigeons briefly. Trying to find... there's a lot of there's a very large amount of stuff on the Wikipedia page for passenger pigeons, though. Which is kind of interesting. There's a huge, huge page about them. Like, longer than a lot of pages. Okay, I can do the exact same start. And then I just run away. What the? Guess I just run. Well, apparently Ring Around the Rosie, there's no, like, definitive proof that it was about the plague. Or about Black Death. I hate these birds. I'm bad at fighting because I never fight them, but... Oh, is it a punt gun? Is that what I'm thinking of? That might not be used for passenger pigeons? Okay, it's just used for waterfowl. In the 19th and early 20th century. Which is just a giant shotgun, I believe. Yeah, and it was banned because it just killed them too much. And they were on the back of punts. So that wasn't passenger pigeons. Though, passenger pigeons were apparently caught in large nets. Which is fun. It's not fun. It's a terrible way to go. Though, it does make me think of fishing. Like, the style of fishing that is showcased in Finding Nemo. Where Dory and a bunch of fish, don't know what type of fish. I don't know what type of fish they were going for. Like, it's probably not tuna, because they weren't long. Yeah. Dory gets caught, and then they just swim down, and then they break the boat, I believe. He's in a different location. I hate these stupid birds. And I got him finally. Absolutely one of the worst enemies. They might, just because of their HP, that might be worse than the teleporting guys that are weak to healing. But that's not, like, just because they have an inflated HP doesn't really make it a fair comparison. No. Stand on the fire, please. Get out of my way, dog. Whoop. Whoop. Oops, I missed. I missed. Please leave, dogs. Now here's a very specific reference that I just thought about. Because while running from this guy, I could, if it wasn't specifically disallowed, in theory it would be a great way to not die would be if I could heal while riding a horse. What that made me think of, in my head, why'd they take so long to die? Like, in my head, what running from them and thinking about jumping on Torrent made me think is Monster Hunter Rise, where you can ride your Oh, I can't remember what they call the dogs. The palicos are cats. I can't remember what they name the dogs. But you can hop on the dog to heal, which is one of the big changes that game made. That I think is probably... I'm making an assumption. It's probably a common complaint from older, oh, this game has to be a specific way fans, like, which, like, I actually think being able to heal that easily is a little lame, but it's sort of like, it's just the nature of a changing game. That fight went a little bit better than I expected, honestly. I should be stopping soon. But I'm almost done exploring this area. I thought I saw an item there. Huh. Guess it was a trick of the light. Yeah, I think I'm basically done exploring this. And then next time it'll be time to face the boss. Not another bird. Okay. Can I sneak up behind the bird? Because sneaking up behind him would be the ideal. Because if I can get the full channel and the fire on the ground, it should work well. Nope. Okay, he's gonna spend a little bit of time in that flame, which is good. You should be dead. Good. What's nice about these is they provide enough. They provide the cerulean flasks back, so they are a net positive. Oops, I was on the wrong flask. I could have died there. And by could have died, I kind of mean I should have died. So that's where I ran in there. I have a bird to fight in the middle. I already killed the dogs there once while testing the first hit damage to see if it was a location specific thing. So I think this bird is the only enemy left. That I haven't killed at least once. Run. Okay. The bird on its stomach can move faster than I can run. Good to know. Valuable information. I'm gonna recover my runes and not fight the bird. I've killed enough of the birds that I don't feel like I need to kill more. I just wanted to kill that one because it was the only one that I hadn't killed. But I don't like those birds. I could have hopped onto Torrent, probably. But I can get my runes and then run, and then that's where I'll wrap it up. And next time I will fight Moog. I guess I'll grab the item in front of the bird too. Let's hope that there's no invasion that occurs. There's an invasion occurring, forcing me off of Torrent. And then me not being able to outrun the bird would be pretty rough. I think this will be faster because I still might be aggroing an enemy. Please load. Thank you. Yeah, next time will be boss. The boss. I don't really think this setup is super effective. And it will be not too bad. I'll probably do poorly because I don't remember the boss that well, but it shouldn't be awful. Because having this range really changes a lot. It really affects how bosses feel. I still don't have the axe talisman, which might not apply to the beams that I shoot, so it might be useless, but I will also, after I finish exploring here, I will go grab the great mace as suggested. But I will leave that till I'm done here, because I just want to get this area done. And then I'll continue. So, if I remember my plans correctly, I'll beat this. Then I will explore everything here except for the fire giant. I'll stop before the fire giant. So I will focus on exploring this. Once I've explored this, I will go back through and check for any that I missed. I'll go back through heroes' graves. Like, this one's not a hero's grave, but I didn't explore it. Go through heroes' graves. Once I'm done with heroes' graves, I will check for Deathroot that I've missed. And then I think I'll also kind of naturally, I should locate the Brother Corin quest somewhere here without too much trouble, but if I miss it, I'll do that before Fire Giant as well. But yeah. After here, it's Mountaintop and Snowfield. Then back for Heroes' Graves. Then Deathroot. Once I have all the Deathroot, I'll do the stuff with this guy. And then, I guess at that point, it's Fire Giant? There's probably a lot of stuff that I've missed. For sure. But so it's by here that I need to get the Great Mace. This, by the Grand Lift of Dectus. But there's definitely a lot of stuff that, like, I still haven't done the Jar Village. I don't really want to. I kind of want to leave that story by itself. Because the ending can't occur if you don't progress the plot. So they say nice and happy. I still haven't seen Alexander again. I haven't seen Alexander since here. I don't know how to, I don't follow a guide to look for Alexander because I don't really care about Alexander, but I know that there is an area there that I should explore that gives more runes. Yeah. That will all be after I beat Moog. And this Moog is important, probably, for the DLC. So yeah, I'll be back and doing that next time. So, have a nice day. Bye-bye.